On today's Two on Your Side Town Hall, it comes as some relief for many students and teachers. The guidance that says if you're vaccinated, you can take your masks off inside schools. We're going to talk about the CDC update with a local epidemiologist. Plus, it's Taste of Buffalo weekend, everybody, and it may look a little different than you're used to from years past. We're going to be joined by the chair of the festival to talk about it. And we are in the final countdown now to the Tokyo Olympics, but thanks to COVID, it doesn't appear we'll have any fans in the stands. We're going to hear from members of Team USA about how they're getting ready for empty venues. And hi there, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Friday edition of the Town Hall. I'm Kate Welshofer. Michael is off tonight. As you just heard, we got a bunch of things to talk about tonight, including a live chat about the preparations for this weekend's Taste of Buffalo, what you need to know about that. But we do want to start with some new guidance from the CDC that certainly has the attention of parents and kids, as well as school teachers and staff. The CDC has now updated its guidance to say that fully vaccinated students and teachers do not need to wear masks inside of classrooms. So that's going to have a big impact on kids going back to school in the fall. But remember, it only applies to kids 12 and up as of now, because younger kids, of course, not yet eligible to get a COVID vaccine. So to talk a little bit more about this, we are joined virtually by a familiar face, Dr. John Sellick. He's an epidemiologist with Kaleida Health. Thanks for coming back, Dr. Sellick. We always appreciate seeing you.
Thanks for having me again. I guess that's good that you keep asking me back.
Well, we love having you here, and we want to start tonight with your reaction to this new guidance. Are you surprised at all by it, or does it make sense to you to make that change at this point?
Well, you know, at this point of the pandemic, I'm not sure what surprises me anymore, but I think that this is very good news. And I think that what the CDC has done, and maybe not the first time, but they've really put this together in a different format. So the first thing they did was acknowledge that it's better for kids to be in school than to not be in school, and that kids can go to school safely when we do it the right way. The other thing that they've done is acknowledge the just stunning power of the vaccine that we've seen, that people who are vaccinated really are protected and can come to school without their mask on. And as you point out, this doesn't apply to the youngest kids. I think the other thing that is somewhat different with this CDC guidance is that they've given a lot of local decision making to schools rather than trying to come up with a one-size-fits-all for the whole country. If you read what they released today, it really gives a lot of flexibility to the individual districts. And as you pointed out, if you are fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask indoors. Now, the problem is going to be that we see such uneven levels of vaccination around the country that there will probably still be places that have to continue to use masks. And I know that the school districts in Detroit and Philadelphia have already said that they are going to continue to require mask use. So I think we should be in fairly good shape here in Western New York because we have good immunization levels, and this should work well. For the younger kids, the under 12s, and for anybody who is not vaccinated, we're still going to want them to wear masks. And the CDC talks about a layered approach, that we'd still want 3 feet of separation between kids in the classrooms. Hopefully everybody has worked on their air handling systems and increased some of the airflow. Outdoors with activities, people will pretty much be able to give up their mask other than in very close settings, very tightly packed stands or stadium or whatever. But overall, I think this is very well thought out. I think it should be very encouraging to everyone that kids can go back to school. Please, everyone who falls into an age group where you can get vaccinated, and this will get us looking more like normal this fall.
And quickly, I want to ask you about those younger kids and them getting vaccinated. Of course, kids under the age of 12 cannot get the vaccine right now, but are you optimistic that at least one of the COVID vaccines could be available for kids sometime in the next few months? Possibly they might be able to go without their masks in the fall.
Yes, I think that's what we're all hoping. I'm not especially optimistic that we're going to see this happen by the start of school in the fall. It just takes a little bit longer to get all the data together. But I think many people are optimistic that as we get into the fall and these, if the vaccines do get the approval for the younger group, and both Pfizer and Moderna are doing trials with kids under the age of 12, that as we get into the fall and into the winter, and then hopefully by the start of the next semester after the new year, we will be able to get back to what really looks like normal. So far, the vaccines, especially the mRNA vaccine, the BioNTech and the BioNTech, Pfizer, and Moderna, have held up very well against the new variants, especially the Delta variant. So I think that, the sooner that everybody gets vaccinated and hopefully everything goes well with these young kid trials, we will have good levels of vaccination again, and we'll get back to normal with our schools.
Certainly a positive step forward. Dr. John Sellick has been our guest tonight. Always appreciate it. Dr. Sellick, have a great weekend.
Okay, thanks, and you too.
All right, the other topic we want to spend some time talking about tonight, the Taste of Buffalo, the annual two-day food festival, as you know, making its return this weekend after a year off for a virtual-only event during the pandemic. And if you haven't been following the updates over the past few weeks, the festival first added a mandatory pre-sale ticketing system, but later was able to drop that requirement with changes to COVID guidelines. So joining us live right now to talk about all this is Amber Hartman, the chair for the Taste of Buffalo. Amber, we're so glad to have you with us. We know there's been so much planning leading up to this event, from the original plans to the contingency plans, all while trying to follow those ever-changing guidelines. So we want to start by talking about, what do we need to know when we're heading to the Taste this year? What is different, or maybe not so different?
It's not so different, honestly. It's going to be a lot of the same sights, sounds, smells that you've seen in years past. Our footprint is a little bit smaller than it's been in past years. We're in Niagara Square and a couple blocks down Delaware. We are asking, that everybody do follow current COVID guidelines. If you're vaccinated, feel free to come down without your mask. If you are not vaccinated, certainly wear your mask and show some Buffalo love to all of our patrons, and just make sure that everybody can have a safe and healthy festival.
And it's been such a tough year and a half for restaurants in particular. Many of them, unfortunately, had to close. But for those restaurants that did stick around and are choosing to participate in this weekend's festival, is this kind of a celebration for them, a chance to come together and say, we made it? Are you sensing kind of a camaraderie out there this year that maybe is different than years before?
Yeah, we've had such a positive response from the restaurants. We told them that we were going to be having a live event. They were so excited. So many of them are coming back and presenting this year. Some of them just couldn't. As you mentioned, it's been a tough year for them, from staffing, from suppliers, but they have continued to show us support, and they are looking forward to returning in future years.
And certainly we know all these things are important, but really we just want to talk about the food. Amber, how many restaurants are part of the Taste of Buffalo, and what are some of the highlights as far as the things they're offering this year?
Oh my gosh, so many amazing things. We'll have about 25 restaurants, wineries, and food trucks down here. So you have Lloyd's Taco Truck, Bavarian Nut Company, Osteria 166, Charlaps is coming down with ice cream, Krishiki Bakey in Stolat. So many options depending on what you're looking for. There will be something here for you, no matter what you're looking for.
And finally, Amber, last summer you guys were dealing with the disappointment, obviously, of having to cancel the in-person event. Now fast forward to today, and you're standing on the edge of the first Taste of Buffalo in Niagara Square, actually, in 2 years. So what does this moment feel like you and for that whole team that dedicates so much time putting this festival together for Buffalo?
Yeah, we have such a dedicated volunteer board that has worked tirelessly this year to just be so flexible and pivot as everything has changed. We've been working on getting this together since October. So we are so excited to be down here. You can start to feel the energy as the tents start to go up, sponsors start to load in, and tomorrow morning when the restaurants come on site and start prepping and cooking, it's a dream come true for all of us, really.
Well, congratulations and best of luck. We've been chatting with Amber Hartman, chair of the Taste of Buffalo. Amber, thank you for joining us, and a reminder to everybody, if you go home hungry, it's your own fault. Amber, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.